Disrupt.
Hello and welcome to Disrupt. We're here to showcase the work of some Canadian artists with disabilities. My name is Taylor Olson and I'll be your host for the next little while. As your host, I know a little about art and living with an invisible disability since I live with a history of eating disorders and CPTSD and write, direct, and act for film and theater. On Disrupt, I get to discover artists with disabilities and then share them with you. Oh, and yeah, behind the camera is a team made up of more artists with disabilities. So hey, no snacks will be served, but you'll be glad we spent some time together. Let's start things off with Staging Face, directed by Steph Young and Vi Jones. This film is from Asterix Media, a non-profit collective of artists which aims to challenge dominant narratives and bring marginalized voices to the forefront of new media. It follows several artists as they navigate the complexities of gender identity, community, and mental health.
A person wearing a thick coat puffs from a vape. Smoke rises from nearby stacks. After a flash of a person silhouetted by spotlight, they gaze about. Staging Face. The McDonald Bridge looms over Halifax Harbor. Buildings line the shore. In an apartment, a doll's head sits on a console table amid potted plants.
I have worked in healthcare and office settings for all of my adult life. I was heavily closeted in the workplace until about 2 years ago.
He organizes pills.
People look at me and laugh, thinking it's a joke when I say he, him. It kills me having to explain myself over and over and over, and just no one really giving a shit because I don't try to look more masculine in my day-to-day.
With blonde hair, wearing a cape, he strolls outside smoking a cigarette. The first person scrolls on their phone.
I'm a queer non-binary person.
A t-shirt reads Queer AF.
I have had people get into a serious argument with me for simply correcting them when they misgender me. This definitely brings about a lot of imposter syndrome.
Standing on the shore, they gaze across the water.
Existing as a queer person feels like a trauma response. Analyzing every space for how to be and act, each interaction rigorously vetted so that I'm not too queer or too trans, just to feel like somebody won't murder me.
A bald person operates a sewing machine. Outside, they pass an Indigenous solidarity mural.
Validation is the first step to growth and overcoming this.
Makeup brushes fill cups.
Anyone through drag that I've let into my inner circle have been the most amazing support. I definitely consider them family.
The people apply makeup in a dressing room.
I don't think I would be here without the drag family who took me in. Before I knew how I felt about my body or my gender, before they ever learned the details of my past. They understood and showed me that it's all right to not be okay, and it's safe to share the burden with them.
The therapeutic qualities of drag are social connection, community, and giving voice to the side of us that has always yearned to break free. The mental and emotional labor is draining in every way, but it's the community and the family that provide that safety net and space.
Dressed, the performers walk through a blue-lit corridor. Dancing, the first performer wears a red jumpsuit with feathered shoulders and a black wig.
Being Rhett gave me permission to stop bottling up my mental illness and my gender identity.
The Vapor wears a button-down shirt and sings into a microphone.
Richard has made me want to be a loud, live, and positive representation of the Black community.
My drag has evolved from living a life in the theater and pushing personal gender inhibitions to a freak flag-flying gender weirdo who believes in compassion and decolonization.
They have very long fingernails.
I've struggled my whole life with trying to make myself palatable, but the more comfortable I got in my day-to-day life, the more Rhett grew into a separate persona. But I definitely still mentally benefit from being on stage.
He does the splits.
In the end, drag has made me more of a complete person. I've been allowed to explore my gender identity, my queerness, and even my heritage. To acknowledge these parts of myself as opposed to silencing them like I'd been doing my whole life to fit in.
Now wearing a leather jacket, they whip their long hair back.
Jennifer is the freedom to dream and imagine impossible destinies. Jennifer's legacy Jennifer's magic.
Red spotlights silhouette Jennifer. Rhett's performer smiles in the street.
Mental illness has helped build the very core of who I am.
And on stage.
Having depression and anxiety at the same time is like constantly having your mind wage war. But no one physically sees this.
Richard stands proudly.
Living with mental illness shapes every facet of my life, experiences, and encounters. Moving forward, my only hope is, as it's always been,
Head lowered, Jennifer is illuminated by the red spotlights.
to tell the truth with my drag.
They raise their head.
Great directing work, Steph and Vi. And thank you to the artists for sharing their stories. We'll be right back before you know it on Disrupt. And we're back on Disrupt. Next up, we have Olivia Dreisinger's short film, Handler is Crazy. Olivia is a disability scholar, filmmaker, and writer whose fluctuating abilities often dictate how she produces work. In Handler is Crazy, she wanted to document the labor that service dogs provide to disabled people, and a team that was well-trained, in tune, and respectful of one another. I love that.
I know I'm crazy. I've been crazy for a long time. I've been broken for a long time. I don't know what normal is. No.
Sitting on a bed, a woman signals a husky to stop sniffing at something beside her.
All the way.
The husky turns and walks toward the pillows.
Now.
The dog slowly circles in place.
You're drawing this out.
They finally lie down.
Thank you. She's like a child.
Handler is crazy. Photos of children, a calendar, and pictures of dogs adorn a board. A painting portrays the head of a husky in profile. A trophy features a dog on top. Service dog harnesses hang on a wall.
Crazy to me is just being not normal. Like, you do something and people raise their eyebrow at you and just look at you. Like something's wrong. But you didn't really do anything that you think is out of the ordinary. It was normal to you. Like, I fall down sometimes. My leg will go out. So I just fall down and it's no big deal. And then I get back up. And everyone just looks at me like I'm crazy. And you get the looks for having a service dog too. And that's why I prefer to cultivate resting bitch face. Less people bother me. I don't really recommend a service dog for it if you have like really bad social anxiety, because people will bother you.
Bikes, a barbecue, and other items litter the porch of a house in Menlo, Georgia. A dark, short-haired cat cleans themselves. A ginger cat walks nearby.
I have 3 daughters. Aiden Halo is 10. Mercy Gray is 8. And Bambi Meadow is 6. I have 5 animals. We have Banner, the husky, who is my psychiatric and medical service dog. We have Smeagol, who is training to be a service dog to take over for Banner in a few years.
A French bulldog.
We have Lance, the kid's rabbit. Shadow Cat is my first bottle baby. And we also are fostering and training Z for someone else's service prospect.
A German Shepherd pup.
A friend of mine I met through Banner's page. We've been friends for about 2 years. She needed help training her prospect, and she also asked me to help her find a prospect, which I found Z. The kids help. That way he can get used to working with someone besides me. Banner won't work with anyone but me. So I wanted to make sure I could pass him off to his owner with no issues. Aiden has a bit more experience. So I have her usually do, after I work with him, I have her work with him.
Down.
At Aiden's signal, Z lies down. Aiden pets Z.
Mercy tries. She's just not as assertive or confident yet. And she loves him to death, so she'll have a little bit of a problem when he leaves.
Mercy walks Z down a road, then pets him when he sits. Sitting on a road, the woman signals Z to lie down across her outstretched legs. Banner stands nearby.
He's doing DPT on my leg. His owner also has a bad leg.
She pets Z as Banner glances about.
DPT is deep pressure therapy. The weighted blankets, like the extra weight, can help relieve pain or anxiety. The extra pain on my knee or upper thigh can help get just a little bit of pressure, and it just makes it feel better. And other people have the same issues, and that's why they have a bigger service dog, for the weight. And he's 5 months old, and he's already heavy enough to make an impact.
Sometimes art literally speaks to me, like the words, "I just fall down and it's no big deal, and then I get back up." The best art inspires. Thanks. Our next artist is a dancer, Sheriana Haas, in a short film called Sheriana. She has a partial limb and uses an arm prosthetic, and she has a passion for dance and the performing arts. She's also an advocate for ensuring spaces are open to all people to be themselves and be creative. Sounds pretty awesome.
Sheriana. Girls from Prodigy Dance and Performance sit around a table.
I would describe Sheriana as a light. The way that she just interacts with people, she has like such a genuine kindness and a concern for people that they just gravitate towards her.
Cheryl Lee Hunnigan.
She looks at dance as a place where she can be herself. She feels like she is limitless and she has so much power and strength.
I've been dancing since I was 2 years old and competitive dancing since I was 5. And I do hip hop, contemporary, lyrical, jazz, acro. I like that it's a different way to express yourself, and I love that there's no wrong or right way to dance. Like, you just feel comfortable doing it, and so many people could do it, and it's like a different way to connect through every single person.
Dancers train.
What my tumbler arm is, it helps me with putting pressure on the dance floor and everything. This mushroom part here, you can see it it clicks on and off, so I can take it off and I can put different attachments on it. So I use this attachment a lot, so it's rubbery and it looks like a mushroom, so I call it my mushroom. And then I can customize the arm part, which is like turquoise right now. And it just helps me with a bunch of stuff in dance, so I'm very grateful for this.
Sheriana works with a teacher.
Squeeze to the ceiling and then come down.
Janelle is my teacher. I just basically tell her how it feels and what's comfortable and what's not, and then I tell her what I need modifications to. If, for instance, if I'm going back into bridge, it hurts my arm to have my tumbler arm on, so I just take it off if that's easier for me.
Sheriana does a bridge pose.
It takes a village. You know, there is that African proverb, it does take a village, and without the support of grandparents, parents, aunts and uncles, teachers, instructors, Sheriana may not have had the same successes and achievements, right? So that uplifting, it's sometimes unseen, but over time when a child is constantly empowered and encouraged and supported, it continues to build them slowly to the point where they don't even realize that the building has been happening. But now the foundation is so strong that it can't be broken.
I looked up bundle of energy, and there it was, Sheriana's picture. Great energy. I think we all deserve a break. I think I'm winded. See you when I can breathe again on Disrupt. And we're back on Disrupt. Anne Camozzi is a Nova Scotia visual artist, author, and disability advocate who identifies as an artist with multiple disabilities and uses a wheelchair for mobility. Her art hangs in hospitals, offices of those in healing professions, public collections, and many private collections. She created Disabilities and Creativity for an After Dark art festival with music by Robbie Teehan. Enjoy.
Disabilities and Creative Expression, Ann Camozzi. The title is superimposed on a rainbow and a yellow background. A woman with glasses and a wheelchair smiles in a photo as she paints.
Welcome. I'm Ann Camozzi. I've lived in Antigonish for 43 years, and I create art and write to distract myself from severe, unremitting 24/7 pain and the isolation I experience from the many disabilities I'm challenged with. I immerse myself in color in all seasons. My art is a form of spiritual meditation, as I believe all art can be. I invite you into the rainbow colors of my life, the colors of diversity, inclusion, and hope.
A painting contains many smaller paintings of flowers, plants, and angels. Another shows many streams of color flowing up the canvas, flame-like. In another, the outline of an angel is hidden among many red, yellow, and blue blooms. An angel made of swirls and blobs looms alongside birds, flying toward a sun. Another angel, with butterfly-like wings, soars amid birds, swirls, and whorls. Pink and red flowers fill another painting. People stand and kneel on islands dotted with swirls and spindly red bushes. Violet and red flowers fill a canvas surrounded by green leaves. A bird perches atop a bouquet of light pink and dark red blooms. A hummingbird hovers near one of several red flowers. Two bees crawl toward the stamens of a dark brown flower. Red, orange, brown, and yellow blooms dominate a canvas. 4 fish swim among filamentary plants as green foliage and the sun reflect off the water. Birds, people, and plants swirl together to create a sun-like image. Flowers with long orange and yellow petals fill a painting. Silhouetted people dance in a circle as multicolored light beams out from the center. A red Gerber daisy, a sunflower, and orange tulips fill a canvas. A fish emerges from a pool surrounded by birds, plants, and sun-like flowers. A blue jay flies near a pair of large sunflowers. Sunflowers and leaves float on water.
Gorgeous paintings from Ann and beautiful music from Robbie. Thanks for sharing. And to top things off, we have a short film from our own Disrupt crew member, our camera assistant, Madison Hughes. She is a neurodivergent artist living with CPTSD, and Flea Party is her second creative short film, created and performed with Rebecca Carroll.
On a sunny day in a small clearing, 2 women have a picnic. One, with blonde hair, serves a slice of pie to her friend, who has pigtails. Behind them, a shadowy creature slips between trees. The friend holds up a finger and extracts a box from a picnic basket. She opens the box. The friends look inside, then smile and nod at each other. Pigtails takes a vial out of the box. The blonde girl raises a teacup. Her friend pours something into the cup, then adds some to her own teacup. They toast and sip. Soon after, they nap on the blanket. Holding a cleaver, the wolf-headed creature looms over them. The women rise. The blonde woman scurries away. The creature grabs her pig-tailed friend. The blonde woman stops along a bushy path and turns. After a moment, she hurries back. Stopping on the blanket for a moment, she grabs the pie server. Then, she faces off with the big bad wolf. She lunges. The creature drops her friend as it backs away. She tackles it, and plunges the pie server into its neck. It lies dead, beady eyes open. She returns to her friend, who's checking her head for wounds. She helps her friend up. They glance at the body, then hurry off. Holding hands, they run along the bushy path. The end.
Thanks for joining me on Disrupt. We'll see you next time when we show you more great art.
Director and host, Taylor Olson. Producer, Rachel Bauer. Production manager, Lynn Matheson. Director of photography, Scott Barrington. Described video, Mark Phoenix. Location sound, Olivia King. Writers, Lynn Matheson, Taylor Olson. Editor, Peter Gaskin. Production designer, Jackson Noble. Camera operators, Cody Morris, Brandon Boyd. Composer, Jordell Downey. Makeup artist, Jennifer Lee Murphy. Assistant editor, Kelly Rose. Assistant director, Spencer McKay. Camera assistants, Madison Hughes, Loretta Linden. Sound assistant, DJ Giles. Assistant production designer, KJ Lewis. Third assistant director, Jay McManus. Production assistant, Jeff Harrop. Logo design, Daniel Jardine. Legal services, David C. Perlmutter. Inclusive mentorship coordinators, Lynn Matheson. Teamwork cooperative. Special thanks, Art Pays Me. Directors Guild of Canada, Maritimes. Produced in association with Accessible Media Inc. Integrated Described Video Consultant, M. Williams. Copyright 2024, Accessible Media Inc.
An AMI original production.